Well guys, it's that time of year again. Another great year is coming to a close, the year 2024. And I always like to look back at the events of the year and kind of use this moment to reflect on what has happened here on the channel. And in the past, when I've done these yearly reviews, I've showed segments of every video, and I'm not going to deviate too far from that, but I am going to do something a little bit different this time. And that is to show you the key moments of every video from the year 2024 on motoring adventures. YouTube content creators have access to an app called YouTube Studio, and through that app you can see a lot of analytical data for your YouTube channel and all your videos. And one of these things that it'll show you is what's called the key moments, and it's basically segments or times in your video that were the most watched or the most unwatched. It shows what they call audience retention, and that's what percentage of people are still watching the video after a certain amount of time during the video. And I'm going to show you the highest retention point in each video. Now, of course, the beginning of the video is always going to be the highest. That's usually where a video starts when you click on it. So those will always be 100% or even over 100%. If the person goes back and watches the video again, that's how you can get over 100%. I think I'm going to focus on the main jump or spike in that retention of the video. And we're going to call that the key moment of the video. The moment of the video that was most watched by you guys, just to use that as a way to see what the highlights of 2024 were here on Motoring Adventures. So without further ado, here are the key moments of 2024. There, I used to hit bottom before I put this lift. Now I don't touch anything. There you go. A little bit more, and stop. Oh yeah. We worked our way to the overlook at Wildcat. We decided to take a taxi into Manhattan. We had heard that they can be slightly cheaper than taking an Uber. In our case, the taxi ended up being around $10 more than the Uber we took on our return trip. Really got me starting to think, you know what, I could probably come up with some sort of way to mount this that wouldn't involve all that, that would be sturdy, that would be good for off-road use with the fridge, the weight of the fridge, and this slide. I mean, this slide is actually pretty heavy, but it's a very, very sturdy made fridge slide. So I took a lot of those ideas from what I saw in different videos and from what the companies have done, and I've kind of made my own platform or plank or floor for the back of the Jeep Wrangler JL. That never gets old. Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Preston. Today I'd like to talk about my M1102 military trailer. As I featured it on this channel many times, I've turned this into my overlanding trailer. really close to the sway bar disconnect motor here, but I think once it's fastened up, it'll not be as close, but that's still really close. Jeez. Okay, I'm over here at my workbench. I test fit this, and this power wire is in fact going to rub pretty significantly against the grill, so I'm going to do
Yeah, it's a main road just like this the whole way, so it's gonna be fun. Let's do it.
It's funny how there's like nobody here. It's just like.
But to get the entrance fee, you gotta go all the way in.
Oh, there's like an actual. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
You have to go all the way in. So we are here. We gassed up somewhere. Presidio's like that way. Then yeah, we gotta go all the way to. Oh, the Salceda Ranger. Bought this, and I think it's a pretty good time to do sort of a long-term review of it. I'm going to do that by listing what we feel are the pros and the cons of it. Just a little bit of background info. The GMC Yukon and the Chevrolet, it's on the same platform with the Chevrolet Tahoe and Suburban. Obviously, it carries the GMC nameplate. These things have been around for a long time now. This is their latest iteration. Manly man. Yeah, go forward just a little. There you go. You hear it click?
Sway bar disconnect.
Now when you go over, like drive over that rut over there, or yeah, just kind of go back and forth over it. I can't focus on it. All right.
It's going away.
Isn't that cool? This is not showing how dark it is. This is not showing how dark it is at all. It is dark. About 6 months ago, I did a pros and cons of this video, and I've done some things to this vehicle since then that change it a little bit. I've since then added a lift kit and larger tires. I've also added a winch to the vehicle and done some miscellaneous mods on the interior, but it's stuff you really can't see from the outside or doesn't really affect the drivability of it, but it adds functionality to it as a camping / Not all of the obstacles will be exactly the same, as some of the trail conditions have changed over time from erosion and repeated use. appears they've lost at least one of our suitcases, if not more. Although we've got quite a bit of them now, so it's a little reassuring, but it's really frustrating, bittersweet. But once we filed our claim with the airline and came to grips with the situation, we stepped outside into the great city of Manila for the very first time for some, and the first time in a very long time for others. Zigzags and the Lefeste campground. I've heard good things about this campground. I wonder if they'll let me at least check it out, just to kind of scope it out for future reference. If you have a locked one of these, it'll come with a cylinder and a key. You want to get this good and tight. Put the cylinder back in. Lock it. Just wanted to see what it would be like to drive an open-air Hemi Jeep with unrestricted access to that glorious 392 exhaust. I'm not going to go too in-depth on how to remove the doors and tops from the Jeep Wrangler JL, as I do have a previous video that goes into more detail. But this video should help illustrate the basic process. I'm not too worried about minor scrapes when negotiating obstacles, but I would like to avoid any unnecessary, costly cosmetic repairs, especially on non-armored parts of the vehicle. Instead, I decided to take the moderately difficult bypass to the left and continued on. Yet another gate. Well, it's a good thing we're not going that way. To pretty remote areas and doing a lot of stuff they wouldn't be interested in, but you know, with a lot of thinking, with a lot of thought, and you know, after actually being influenced by some other YouTubers I've seen, I decided to get a Ram Power Wagon. keep going. Looks like I hit right there. As around 3 inches into the soil, the stakes would hit solid rock. I did eventually manage to get it to where it was staked pretty solidly. All right, now that we got our tent halfway staked, we're gonna go check out the river. Pretty low, but there's some water. Oh, it's a nice little calm river. It's got lots of algae.
There's a frog right there.
But it really gives you an upper hand if you know what you're talking about at the dealership. All right, car buying tip number 2. Know what your vehicle is worth. Now there's a number of ways you can find this out, and there's a lot of online tools now to help you with this. You can go to kellybluebook.com. There's NADA guides. Forever you had the actual physical Kelley Blue Book and NADA guides that you could find at bookstores and places like that. But I wouldn't skip on this part. I mean, even if you're gonna build it out, you wanna have something that's gonna be solid for you. It's gonna be reliable. You don't want to be left stranded out in the middle of nowhere. This is kind of the backbone of what everything else is based off of. So choose wisely. All right, overlanding must-have number 2, rooftop tent with sleeping bag. Now you absolutely don't have to have a rooftop tent. You could totally do this in regular old ground tent. And finally, test out the lights. Okay, here's standard lights, headlights with the fogs. Here's without the fogs. Here's bright lights or high beams. And here's with the aux beam 5-inch pods. I can probably face that one more to the right, or the passenger, but substantially better. Vámonos. Although you can walk the half-mile from the river to the check-in point, we opted to ride the donkeys, or burros, thinking it would be a fun and unique experience. The donkey ride lasted for about 25 minutes after traversing about half a mile of open desert, and we soon arrived at the village of Boquillas del Carmen. Well, what can I say? It's been an incredible year for us here at Motoring Ventures. It wasn't without its trials and tribulations, but I think I can look back and be grateful at the times and experiences, the times I've been able to spend with my family and friends. It's been incredible, and I am truly grateful for all of you for watching. This year we've seen the greatest increase in the number of subscribers of the channel, so thank you very much. This is what keeps me motivated, and I hope to produce a whole lot more content for you in the year 2025. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll hope to see you in the year 2025. So thank you, and Happy New Year's, everybody.